a presentation here first just to go over everything, and then we'll actually go into the program here. And I really have some exciting news for 2015 with the program for you people that have been using it. Yes, it is an Excel doc, but it is going to be going into an online version here for 2015, so you can access it anywhere. You can have multiple people logged into it at the same time, and a lot more options that will be available for 2015. But one big thing that you're going to be getting a lot of nowadays, I don't have this on the presentation here, but it's that time of year where we're going through our business planning for 2015. I mean, I've been an MCA for 10 years, so I've been with Keller for 10 years. And I see a lot of the business plans, you'll go to a business planning clinic, or you'll go to something, you'll do your business plan, and then that business plan basically is put on a desk somewhere and basically never looked at again, because it doesn't really give you the tools to track. You set your business plan with all of your goals and everything, to actually track how are you doing versus your goals that you had set in that business planning clinic. And that's what this program will allow you to do, so you can have it up in front of you at all times. Are you on pace to hit your goals? Because you set those goals for a reason. You probably have some financial income levels that you need to hit to make sure that everything's good at home, and bills are being paid, and you're living the life that you want. So that's another thing that this program will do for you. So with that being said, we'll just jump to the presentation. The first thing is your real estate business duplicatable and predictable? And it's such, again, I use my experience as why I created this, is because I've seen so many people come and go from the business, and I've seen a lot of successful people have roller coaster years, where they'll have a great year, they'll have an off year, then they'll have a great year, maybe have 2 great years, but then they'll have an off year. And it's just due to the fact that they don't really track their numbers. And a lot of agents, they just work really, really hard, and whatever comes at the end of the year, great. But now, can I make that duplicatable and predictable, so I know if I have a great year in 2014, for 2015, I want to be able to either duplicate it, or I want to take that to a new level. But there's no way to do that if I don't know what I did in 2014. So we'll go through this slide here. So a couple quotes here. Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal. That's from Henry Ford. So that, again, goes to the point of, we do our business plan, and then we basically set it on the corner of our desk somewhere and really never look at it again. But we have those goals. They're there for a reason, and now we need to track our progress against those goals. Goals are dreams without deadlines. Very true. I think this is my favorite one. Again, if you don't know where you're going, you'll probably end up somewhere else. And that, I mean, if you don't have a vision and a path to get to where you're going, you're probably not going to end up there. Tony Robbins, setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. So again, this is really such a great time of year for this, because our minds are on finishing 2014 strong, but also getting a plan in place that when 2015 starts, we're hitting the ground running. We have a plan, and we're going to make it happen, versus getting to February and March realizing, whoa, I didn't do anything in those previous months. I need to get to work. So we want to finish strong, and that momentum carry into 2015. All right. I'll just go through this real quick. So this is the current look that you guys have of the Commitment to Excellence. I'm just going to go over this real quick. The new version for 2015 that's going to be online is going to have some new cool features and a little more user-friendly. That's one thing I've learned in creating this the first time, is to some feedback is to make it a little more user-friendly in certain areas, and that will be coming. But the first piece is for a brand new agent, or even an agent that's looking to re-engage in the business, is your foundation and your training center. That's the first piece. And you have to complete the first task in there before you can do anything else. If you don't complete that, you can't go in and use these other tools that are showing on this that we'll be showing here on the screen. So the foundation and training, full training on all the KW systems. So KW has given us a lot of great tools to use in our business, and if we don't use them, we don't implement them, they basically are wasted, and we're not taking advantage of them. So to use them, we need to be trained on them and trained on them properly to get the most out of them. That is what this system will do, teaching you how to use eEdge, eAgency, which website do I use, why do I have 2 websites. It's going to go through all of that for you, explain the benefits, and it does it in a step-by-step manner where you can take a half hour today and chunk away at it, and then come back tomorrow and do another half hour. They're all short little videos. It's not like 50-minute webinars that you have to sit through. Then I'll skip the goals and Market Center checklist here, but or the Market Center checklist, and jump to the goals. So the goals is basically your business plan. This is going to drill your business down to exactly how many appointments you need to go on every single week or month to hit your financial goal. So that's going to say I want to make $150,000 in real estate. That's great, but what do I need to do today, and what do I need to track today to make sure that when October of 2015 comes around, and I hope nobody in the room is at the situation where they're way behind their goals for 2014 and they didn't really track them, and now they're realizing, whoa, I'm not quite there and I only got 2 months left to hit my financial goal. We don't want that to happen. We want you to be able to gauge that every single day and see, am I on pace to hit that financial goal for 2015? I don't want to find out a month away from the end of the year that I'm not there. I want to know today, am I ahead, behind, do I need to pick it up, or can I even adjust that goal and make it even higher? So that's the goal section. You have to set your goals before you can, again, utilize these tools. So it's going to, it keeps it very simple. It's like, well, you can't just jump and do everything you want. You have to do stuff in succession to make it work properly. So the goals section, which I'll go through, and then the business tracker is the main guts of this program. So to get the information that I'm going to show you, you simply have to enter in any transaction that you do into the business tracker, and that's it. You enter it. If you take a listing, enter in the listing and a little bit of detail about the listing. That's all you have to do. If you have a listing that goes under contract, you simply change it to pending in the system, tell it when it's going to close and how much money is coming in on that deal, and what it'll do is give you future income and show you how much money am I making in December. December is a big holiday month. So wouldn't it be nice to know right now you knew that you had $10,000 coming in December? And I've never met maybe 1% of real estate agents that really know their current income and their future income. So it'll track all of that for you. And then it's also going to track your lead generation. That's what leads to our business. So if we don't lead generate, we don't get listings, we don't get sales, we don't get income. So it's all about the lead generation. So on a weekly time frame, you have to enter in your lead generation for the week. How many contacts did you make? How many listing appointments did you go on? How many buyer appointments did you go on? And that's really all you have to enter. So I'm going to just kind of sum this up real quick. You could stop here and not use any of the other tools and get a ton of value out of this program. There are some more tools that you can use, which I'm going to cover here, but if you just entered in your weekly lead generation and your transactions, it will give you everything you really need to run your business at a very, very high level. The next section here is the reports and dashboards. They automatically generate for you. So that's going to be where you can actually see how you're doing in your business real time and future income, which nobody has right now. And I hate when I see somebody look at their business and they're always looking in the rearview mirror. We need to look forward, and so because we can't change anything that happened in August and June and July, but I can change November and December right now. So I need to be able to see that in my business. There's a listings manager and a pendings manager, and basically what these do is if you don't have a great system for managing, let's say you have 10 listings that you've taken, there's a lot of things that you as a real estate agent need to do to those listings and make sure that they are getting properly taken care of by you, the real estate agent. So it'll manage all of that for you and tell you if things are due, if they're overdue, what tasks are left, and it'll do the same things on your pendings manager here as well. It automatically generates you a financial statement. And I love it when I get an email from an agent that says, hey, Cal, here's my financial statement. I just want to email you this because I've never had one in my business before, and it helps me so much knowing exactly what's going on in my business to the penny. You know, am I making money in my business? I mean, because that's what we are. We're truly running a business here. And I guarantee you Google, I mean, I'm obviously naming some big companies, Google, Apple, and all them, they know exactly where their money's coming from, what works, what doesn't, and how much money they're making to the penny at any given moment. And we should really be modeling our business after top business owners since we are running a business. It'll also generate you a 411. And a 411 is just simply a goal tracking system that Gary Keller came up with a long time ago, and it's just simply 4 weeks lead to 1 month, which leads to 1 year. So it just breaks your goals down from an annual basis to a monthly basis, all the way down to the week, how much you need to be doing every single week. So that way you guys can have that focus in your business. All right, next slide. And again, this is all of this information, just 15 minutes a week to enter. All you have to do is enter in your transactions for the week and then what you did for your lead generation. And it's going to generate you so much knowledge about your business that it will end up generating you thousands of dollars per year. And if you have a long career, it should definitely generate you millions of dollars in your career. So with showing that, I'm going to use $300,000 as the example here, but how great would it be to make $300,000 in a year in real estate? So 2014 is done, and you just made $300,000. Most people, that's a lot of money in real estate. Some people it may not be. Maybe they do more than that. But is that a good year? Great year? Be excited about that. And then you get to the end of 2014, and you're looking to gear up for 2015, and now you realize, you know, I have no idea how I really did that. I know I worked really hard, but I have no idea what I actually did day to day that I could duplicate. If I could duplicate everything I did in 2014, I should be able to make $300,000 no problem. And I could take that knowledge that I gained from what I did in 2014 and tweak some of it and become smarter about my business, and I could either make $300,000 in less time, or I could make $400,000 in the same amount of time it took me to make $300,000, because now I'm going to work smarter in my business. Does that make sense, or am I kind of going a little fast here? Good? All right. I'm going to jump through some of these slides here. Most of the time we measure our business by things in the past, lag measures, and I'm just going to go through a couple of examples. We look at our GCI. Oops. We look at net income. We look at monthly income. We look at sold listings and then sold buyers. And most people don't even know this. Because I'll meet with somebody, I'll be like, well, what percentage of your business comes from listings and buyers? I have no idea. And it's like, how are we going to game plan and build a business if I don't even know where my income is coming from on that basic of a level? So knowing your lag measures, and then the lead measures are the things that lead up to those lag measures. These are the most important things to know about your business, because these are things you can do today. And that is, how many contacts did it take me to get an appointment? You know, how many appointments did I actually go on in 2014? How many my appointment to contract percentage? So if I go on a listing appointment, what percentage of those appointments do I actually get? If I'm getting 40%, that's a really low percent. So if I made $300,000 and my appointment to contract percent was 40%, I had to work pretty darn hard, because that's a lot of appointments. So if I knew that, I could go to training on my listing appointment and revamp that, get that to a 70% ratio or even 80%. Now I'm working half the amount of time generating the same amount of income on my listings. Same with contracts to sold. So are you taking 40 listings and only 10 of them are selling? Are you taking 40 and 20 are selling? Do you know that number to where you can say, okay, I'm really good at this, or I'm really struggling at this, and I need to fix this. This is basically one of those spots in my business that needs a little Band-Aid on it. So with that, again, is your real estate business duplicatable and predictable? I'm going to go through a couple of the slides here. So without appointments, we really theoretically have no sales. If I don't go on a listing appointment, I don't get a listing, and I don't get a listing that sells. If I don't meet with a buyer to put them under buyer rep, then I don't get a buyer contract, and I don't get a buyer that buys a house from me. So I need to have appointments. So every week of the year, 52 weeks in a year, you're going to, by going through your goals process, it's automatically going to tell you how many listing appointments you need to go on every single month, and how many buyer appointments you need, every week, and how many buyer appointments you need to go on. And then you can actually see, am I hitting that on a weekly basis? Because if I'm not hitting this, then I'm not going to be hitting my sales. So this is going to alert me before my pocketbook gets hit by it. I don't want to find out at the end of the year I didn't have enough sales. I want to know, did I have enough appointments? Because that will lead to the sales. And then, are you guys in bold right now? No bold? Okay. If you have bold or go to bold, you can see this purple in here. You can say, okay, I'm going to bold from March through April or whatever it is. And it will, in purple, show you how you're doing during bold. So it'll give you all of your bold production numbers as well. This is basically like a dashboard of your car. So this can be a little overwhelming, and in the new version, it's going to be a lot cleaner than this. But what this shows is on my listings, I've got listing of appointment to listing taken. My goal is 75%. I'm at 51% here. So just like driving a car, I can see where I'm leaking oil right now, and if I'm low on gas by these percentages. Anything that's low. So here's a very low here. I'm listing taken to listing sold, 36%. My goal was 75. So I'm really struggling in that area. So if I can fix these things, I can fix my business. But if I don't know them, I can't fix them. Listing sold, I'm at 8. My goal is 24. Sold price versus gold. So what is my listing sold price? In this case, I'm at 162. My goal was 195. And it does the same thing on the buy side, same exact categories. So if I don't know this information, there's no way I can fix it. I can just keep working harder, but I would rather work smarter than harder if I was doing this. See your closed income and pending income live. So when I built this little chart, we were in the month of May. So I wish I should have updated it so I could see November, December, but I can see at any given moment my closed GCI every single month, real time, and I can see how much money do I have coming up in June. And then, so if it's May, I can see I've got a great June, but I can also see I have a horrible July and August. I can fix that now because I'm in May. But if I was in October and that happened, I can't do anything about it. So I can see all of my income levels any given moment real time, along with this red line that shows what your goal is every single month. So I can see if I'm hitting that as well. Skip through some of these slides. I'm going to go over this as well, and this is going to be changed to a different look in 2015. But what it'll show you is your so a tube that we need to fill. So we're looking at closed GCI here. I can see that my goal is 280,000. I'm currently at 115, And if I was to be on pace, I should be at 128. So I'm off by $13,000 right now. And if I continue at this pace, I'm going to hit $252,000 this year, which is $30,000 under my goal. I would much rather know that in May than in December, because now I have 7 months to catch up. But if I find out I'm $30,000 behind when I look at my numbers in December, I'm not going to be able to fix that. And it'll do the same thing for your 1099 income. So same concept. It'll do the same thing for your profit share, and if you have a KW Cares donations goal for the year as well. So you're going to be able to see, am I on pace, am I not? What do I need to fix in my business? So I can tell you right now, my 1099 income, I'm way off pace right now. And I guarantee you, I look back at those little gauges, I can find out where I'm struggling and why I'm not hitting my numbers. So if I don't have that data, I can't fix it. This one is another big one that I get asked a lot, is where am I at in my cap? How close am I to capping? Well, this will give you your caps real time. I don't know if you've ever been on MyKW and you look at your caps, they're always a month old, so it's really never where you're currently at. This will tell you my cap is, I've paid in $7,500, I'm 38% paid in, I have $12,000 remaining. So in our case, we have a 19.5 cap. My royalty, I've paid in $2,300, I have $600 remaining, I have 79% complete. And it'll tell you your anniversary months as well. So in March is my anniversary month. So I've got till March to get capped on these things, to get my 100% commissions. The other one as well is, if I'm going to try to make my business duplicatable and predictable, I need to know where is my business coming from. So if I don't know where, if I sold 20 listings in 2014, but I have no clue where I got them from, it's pretty tough to go back or for 2015 and go back to those areas and get them again if I don't know where they were. So in this case, it's going to tell me my top listing lead sources, expired, for sale by owners, past clients, and just listed cards. It'll do the same thing for your buyers. Where are they coming from? Apartments, past clients, geographical farm, allied resources. So it's going to tell you exactly where you're getting your business from. And I talked about this earlier, and that is the roller coaster incomes. And sitting behind the computer all the time and looking at numbers, I see it a lot, and it's hard to see some people's lives go through ups and downs, and you see the stress in them, and it's not a fun situation to watch. I can't imagine going through it. So yearly incomes go like this. They roll a roller coaster. I have a great year, down year, great year, down year. And it's basically, do you care that you don't have that? So this happens on a monthly basis as well. Our yearly income roller coasters a lot. We get so busy when we're closing all these contracts up here, we forget to do our lead generation, and then our future income dies. And then we make no money here, and then we're like, oh boy, I got to get back to work. We do our lead generation again, we make our money, we get busy, we forget to do those day-to-day things that we need to be doing. And a lot of that is because we don't track our day-to-day operations. But if we tracked it, it would tell us we're not doing them, and it would prevent these downfalls in our business. So we would see these alerts before they even happened by using those tools. So again, without systems and models, we'll basically never reach our full potential. And you can talk to any top agent out there. They know their numbers. They know them inside and out. And granted, the top, some of those people, they'll have a lot of admins working for them that generate the reports for them and tell them the numbers, but they have them. They know them. And I kind of preached on this earlier, but if I make $100,000 in 2014, and I want to make $250 in 2015, and I don't know what I did to do this, I automatically think, well, I'm just going to have to work twice as hard. Or I could just work smarter and not harder, know my numbers, know where my business is coming from, know my success ratios, get better at them, and work less, and I could probably make that amount of money. Skip through some of these reports here. Automatically generates you a financial statement. I maybe 0.5% of agents that I know actually have a financial statement of their business. And what this does is it breaks it down. And this program is 100% modeled. Don't repeat this because they'll probably call me out on it, but it's modeled right off the MREA book. All I did was I took everything in that MREA book, all that great information that Gary Keller put together, I just took it and made it electronic so I could actually track it and use those things that he's talking about and actually have them in one system, one place for all of my business. So it's going to show you all of your income, listing income, sale income, your total income, your cost of sales, and a cost of sale would be commission splits you're paying your office, royalty fees, if you pay out a referral fee, if you have team members and you're paying them a split on a deal, that would be a cost of sale. Shows you that, shows you your gross profit, and then your day-to-day operating expenses. You know, what am I paying in supplies, education, equipment, phone, rent, lead generation, auto insurance, technology, salaries. Those categories are straight from the MREA book. Those are the main categories that they tell you to track. You can also add your own categories in here as well, and then you get your net income for the month. How much did I actually make that much? What is my business making? So it'll show you every single month all the way down to the bottom and give you your year-to-date totals along with your budget and your variance. So it'll tell you exactly how much you're off or on all of those. Skip through a couple things here. The lead generation tab, where you have to enter in how many listing appointments you went on and buyer appointments, it has a couple other categories as well. And there's 3 categories, and it is on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate your family life for the week? Because we want to have balance in our business, in our lives. We don't want to be working the entire time and abandoning the family, and we want to make sure we have that balance in our life to have an actual life worth living. So on a scale of 1 to 10, just give it a ranking. You know, it was a great week. I had plenty of time with the kids. It was an 8 that week. And then I can also see if, man, I'm really abandoned my family for those weeks right here. So I can see that. Then also on a scale of 1 to 10, how do I rate my business for the week? Did I actually do some work that week? So I can put those numbers in here as well and see those. And then the last one here is, if you were your boss, which you are, would you have fired yourself this week? And I'm not calling anybody out, but it's amazing how many people I see in the halls. They come to the office and they just assume, well, I'm here, so it must count as work. No, you got to actually have to do some work while you're here. So you have to answer that question every single week. Did I actually work, or did I just kind of mail it in that week? So that'll generate in there as well. I guess a simple question. Do you care that you're a business owner and truly run your business like a business? So if it's, I guess somebody said it once, is like you need to think career, not year. Everybody has such short-term thinking in our industry. It's like, I'm just got to make it through this year. Well, that's not a mindset to have to be successful in this business. We got to think career. If this is going to be my career, I darn well better know my numbers in my business, because that's going to be a long career just banging my head against the wall every single year trying to find new business if I don't know my numbers. All right. I'm going to jump out of the presentation here if I can. Uh-oh. Did I lose you guys?
No, we're here, Cal.
Oh, you are? Okay. Sorry about that. My computer just froze up a little bit. I'm going to jump into the program here. So we've got about 20 minutes left, and I want to just kind of demo some stuff in there. Any questions on what we went over so far?
No, we're here to move forward.
You're good? Okay, sounds good. So currently, you have to open up the Excel file. In the future here, when I have this thing, I'm planning a December 1st rollout for this new version. It's going to be, it's just, you go to yourcommitmenttoexcellence.com, and you can log in and access your reports and all of your stuff. But for now, we go into the Excel file. I'm just going to open this up. I think I have a demo account. Bear with me 1 second here. Okay, I do have this. Okay. So the foundation and training, I'm going to skip over there because I want to get into the business aspect of this because I think that's the most important, is to run our business like a business. So the goals section has to be completed before we can do any of these other tools. And you can see just kind of like a Facebook or a thing on your phone, you get these little alerts saying, hey, you've got one message or you've got 2 notifications here. You get these little notifications here as well. So you open this up today and it says, oh, I'm missing 22 pieces in my goals. My lead generation, I'm missing 258 because I haven't done anything this year in this demo account. So it'll tell you anytime you're missing information. So I'm going to go into the goals here. And it's pretty straightforward. Everything's got those little yellow tags like sign here. And you just simply fill this thing out. So the first piece of this is, we can actually even change this to 2015 if you want to set your goals for 2015. And you would simply type in your name. So just follow the prompts. So can't type, Calvin Mergen, and then that yellow tag will go away. And it'll tell me I'm 9% complete. The next thing is my desired income before paying company dollar and expenses. So how much GCI, how much commission do I want to generate? So in this case, I'm going to do 200,000. And right there, a lot of people stop. They'll be, all right, my goal is to make $200,000 this year. I'm just going to hammer away until I get there. Well, I want to know what I need to hammer away on to get to that. So we're going to drill this all the way down. The next goal that you can set is if you have a profit share goal for the year. I'm just going to say $500 in profit share. So you can put that in here. KW Cares donations, I want to donate $250 to KW Cares this year through my green sheet transaction. And you can see how those little tags are going away. I'm now 22% complete with my goals. The next thing we need to tell the system is, what is our company dollar cap? And I think you guys are 18,000 there.
20.
Oh, sorry. I should have said something high. Now all right, so 20,000. And then you simply tell the system, when is my anniversary month? So I'm going to use April in this case. And now I need to tell the system royalty, and that is 3,000 across the board anywhere. And I can choose that anniversary month, because there are scenarios where people have 2 different anniversary months, one for their company dollar and one for their royalty. In this case, I'm just going to use April. So now I told the system a little bit about my setup with KW, my caps, my royalties, and now we're going to drill down to, all right, where does my business come from? And again, this is another stopping point because most people don't know this either. I don't know, 50-50. But if you do know, perfect. So I'm going to use 65% of my business comes from listings, and then it'll automatically plop in 35% over here. So then it says, okay, your annual income from your listings is going to have to be 130,000. Your buyers is going to have to be 70. And then I tell it, what is my average listing taken price? So I want to track the listings that I take this year for 2015 versus what my historical averages, because I need to know, am I hitting that? Because that's going to be a huge driving factor in how much money I make. If I go in thinking I take $200,000 listings and I'm taking 150 all year long, well, now my units are going to have to go way up because I'm not quite hitting that higher price. So I'm just going to do 200,000 in this case. The next line is simply answers the average sale price on a listing and average sale price on a buyer. So my average listing sale price is 190,000. My average buyer is 175. And then the commission percent, and I think you guys are 3 and 3, 3 on the listing, 3 on the buyer. If you're not, just enter in what your guys' averages are up there. Ours are 3 and 3 here. And then your commission split, if you're on a 70-30, just put in 70. And then it'll give you some examples. So it'll say on an average listing, it'll be a $5,700 commission. You'll pay in $1,700 in company dollar. Agent royalty will be $342, and your net check will be $3,600 on those numbers. But what it did for me is down here it says, okay, and this helps me now because I want to make $200,000, but I need to know what I need to do. Based off of those numbers that I put in, I have to sell 23 listings in 2015 and 13 buyers in 2015. So 36 total units. At those prices, I will generate $200,000. But what I want to do is I can't control a listing selling today. I can't control a buyer selling today. I want to have my goals set to something that I can control today. So the next step on the listing is, if I take a listing, what percentage of my listings sell? So, and this has actually been pretty high for our area just because of the low inventory, but I'm going to use 75% as my number right now. It's probably a little higher than that, but I'd rather be safe than sorry here. So 75% of my listings sell. So then what it tells me, it says, okay, you need to take 30 listings now. Now we're getting a little closer to something I can control. So 30 listings this year, 75% of them will sell. That will give me my 23 sold. And it breaks it down monthly here. That would be 2.5 listings a month. But there's one thing that is done before the taking the listing, and that's the appointment that I go on. So what percentage of the listing appointments that I go on do I get? So I've got a great listing presentation, and I've got my scripts mastered, and I'm at about 85%. Perfect. So now it tells me you need to go on 36 listing appointments this year. That's 3 a month. So now that is something that I can put on every single month. I can measure that. Am I going on 3 listing appointments? Am I finding those sellers that I need to every single month to get my 36 appointments this year? 85% of those I'll get, and that'll give me 30 listings. 75% of those sell. I'll have my 23. I can control this, but I cannot control the closed units. I can control my appointments today. And then you're going to do the same thing on the buy side. So now I need to know how many buyers I need to meet with every single month. So if I get a buyer under buyer rep contract, I'll say 80% of the time they buy with me. That means I need to get, I'm zoom in a little bit here. I don't know if you guys can see it as well. 17 contracts, 1.4 a month. So before I get the contract, I need the appointment. So what percentage of the appointments do I get them under contract? I'll say 80 as well. So now here's my business plan. I need 36 listing appointments this year, 21 buyer appointments, 3 a month on the list side, 1.7 on the buy side. I'm just going to go ahead and say 2. So now I know I need to build my lead generation and my daily, weekly lead gen around getting in front of 3 people a month on the listing side and 2 buyers a month. If I can do that and the percentages hold, then I will hit my goals. It'll take care of itself. And then it'll give you a complete summary of what your goals are, combining everything. Total units, 36. Total volume, 6.6 million. Annual GCI will be 200,000, I mean. Cost of sales to team members, I don't have any team members, so nothing's being paid out to them. My company dollar paid in will be 20,000. My royalty will be 30. And then it also does a little math here. It says, you just saved $40,000 by being with a company that caps their commission. Because if I didn't cap, I would have paid the company another $40,000. But since they capped my commission, it saved me $40,000. Your income before expenses, $177,000. And it'll give you your rate per hour. So that would be about $96 an hour on a 40-hour work week, 52 weeks a year. And then on the right-hand side here is, again, straight from the MREA book. So now I can set my budget for my expenses for the year. So I've got a budget guide. The MREA book says these categories, on average, this is what you should be spending the percentage of your GCI on those categories. So supplies is 1%, education is 1%, and so on down the line. So the guide says monthly you should be spending this amount. That would be this much annually. And then you can actually set your budget here. I think the budget numbers on here are a little high on some of these categories, so that allows you to actually, you know what, I'm only spending $100 in this. Oops, not 1,000. And 75 here. You set your own budgets for these, and it'll tell you how much on a monthly basis and how much that will be annually as well. So you'll set your expenses, and that will populate over here as well. You've got, it also asks you to identify what lead sources, where are you going to generate your business from? So again, taken straight from the MREA book, it talks about your all of these different categories from the MREA book, prospecting and then marketing. So you can choose up to 10 that you're going to focus on, and up to 5 marketing areas if you want to. Prospecting is going to be very inexpensive. Marketing is where the cost is. That's the ads, the newspaper, and all those different things. But I've already got some in here, but if you want to change these out, and you can actually type in your own if you want to. If you don't want to take the ones, I can type in Facebook or social media, whatever I want. But I'm going to set my categories. That's where I'm going to focus my business. And then when I get something, those are going to be my options to choose of where did that business come from. All right. Any questions on the goals? Pretty straightforward. And then I can see that I am at 100% over here, and I can just simply click the home button. The navigation in the new version will be a lot better as well. But I can click the home button. I'm done 100% now, and I can see that I no longer have that 22 flag there. So that's all set. And then my business is, goals is you set once a year. Your business is simply where you enter in your transactions. That's all you're doing here. You're taking 10 minutes a week, and you're entering in any transactions that you took. So if I'll just go in here, I took a listing. It's currently active. It'll populate in blue telling you this is the information we need for that. I don't have to fill out everything. I just need stuff in the blue. So the list date was 1-1-15. Expiration date I'll say is 7-1-15. Just enter in the address. And then it asks you where did that come from, the source. That was expired, and that is for $250,000. And what it's going to do is have these stats up here real time, telling me exactly what's going on in my business, and I'm going to open up a account that actually has information on it. I open up a bad file here. I'll show you what that looks like. Let's go. Mails, no, Betty. We'll use Sherry. So this is one of our agents, Sherry. So in her business, it color codes everything. So all of her listings show up in white. Anything that's closed shows up in green. Anything pending is in blue. So I can see all of her transactions. It tells her right up top how many active listings she has, how much volume and GCI she has sitting out in listings, how many active buyers she has. This is something I don't think anybody really tracks, is how many buyers do I currently have under contract, the price range they're looking at, and then how much GCI do I have sitting out there. My pending income, how many units, how much volume, how much GCI, and then my closed. I've closed 26 this year, $4,122,000 in GCI. And I can see she's on pace to hit $148,000 of her $150,000 goal. So she's doing very well. I mean, she's right on cue on her goals. And I can also, let's just say one of these listings goes pending. So her listing in Wabasha, I simply change it from active to pending. It turns blue. And it says, hey, we now need this information in the dark blue. When did it go under contract? And I'll say that is 10-24. Projected to close, and I'm going to just show you how this works. So I've got no income showing up here August, November, December. And I'm going to do 11-1, $200,000 sale price, $6,000 in commission. And then that should show up in November. So I can see I've got some income here in November now. So all I have to do is keep my transactions updated. If I get a new listing, I just add them to it. If I don't want to see my closed, I can take them off the list and just look at my actives and my pendings. All my numbers will still be there, but I don't have to see all of my transactions. I don't want to see my closed right now. So I can filter it to have it show very little data or have it show everything. And I've got all my information up here, my cap. So she's capped. She's capped on her royalty. Here's her 1099 income. She's got a full financial statement with all of her income. She's got the 411, which looks like this. Shows you your goal and your actual in number format. The other stuff is all in the charts. This will just show you net income, GCI, listing sold, buyers sold, goal versus actual, listing appointments, all of this information. Here's a big one, average listing sold price. My goal was 145, or her goal was. She's at 196. So she's doing a lot better on her listings on the average sale price wise, so she's going to generate a lot more money on her listings based off of that. Although her buyer sale price is off by $22,000. It's low, so she's not going to be generating as much money. She's going to have to sell more buyer units to hit that goal. So we'll have all of that information, all red tags, weekly lead gen. You simply click on it, and you're just going to enter in, and I can see that I've missed all of these weeks. That's why they're in red. Once I input the information, the red will go away, and so I just need to get caught up in this scenario. And once I do, so it'll tell you the week, and all you have to enter in is how many contacts did I make that week, how many listing appointments did I go on, how many buyer appointments, rate my business and my family life, and answer the question of would I have fired myself for my production that week. And then you'll get in the report section here, you can click there. If some of the reports are like, whoa, that's too much information for me, like if you're a high D and you just want to see the facts, you can view your reports in a high D, high I manner, or a high S, high C. High S, high C will be a lot more information. High D, high I will be a lot less. I'll just show you. Here's a high S, high C. It's pretty mind-numbing. But it gives you everything going on in the business on one page. Or I can view the high D, which is just going to show me my caps, my goals, and my income for the year and every single month, and how much future income I have as well. There's also a little tip here. If you're not happy with where your business is at, like if you're behind pace here and you're struggling a little bit, there's this little button here that says click here for lead generation tips. You click there and it gives, I think there's over 20 different trainings on how to generate leads in all different aspects of your business. So you can click there, get some information as well to help boost your business if you need to. All right, I kind of spewed a lot there, and I don't know if we have any questions on. Anything you guys got? I threw a lot at in 1 hour.
Follow the steps.
They're just saying it's following the steps.
Yeah, and one thing I didn't touch on is on each button here, there's a little video icon. You can just click on it, and it's just a 5-minute video, gives a complete overview of that section of the program. And I can't harp this enough from building this one the first time. Obviously, when I was done, I'm like, perfect. And then having it out there and having people play with it and get feedback, the new version, the online version, is going to have some really cool features and a lot more streamlined, and going to have some importing features. So just some cool different aspects. But just to have it online, and you can share it with a coach, or whoever you want, you can share your file, and they can access it online. So you have unlimited ability to do that as well with your program. If you're a team, you can give access to your admin. So at any moment, you can pull up and see what's going on in the business. You don't have to worry about her sending you a file or anything like that. But it's be able to access everything online and make it a lot easier. And I'll make sure you guys have it as soon as it is done.
Okay. And this was sent out, the one that we have now was sent out in the email last week that I sent.
Okay.
And so it's just using it. It just comes down to using it.
Yep. And I think when I finished this one the first time, I think it was in like March or April, which was bad timing because then you had to get caught up for the year. This one will be ready to roll for your full year. There'll be no catch-up. It'll all be ready to rock and roll for your full year. There's no fun playing catch-up, obviously.
Gary.
Yep.
Gary,
What's
Yep.
if we start now, do we have to redo everything with the new version?
The only thing you'd have to do in the new version is, because you're not going to be entering in any of your business for 2015,
Sure.
the only thing you'd have to enter in is your goals. So you could go in there, play around with the goals right now and see how much it would take you to have to generate that amount of money. But when you get the new online one, that's the only thing you'll have to re-enter is your goals.
Okay. So if we entered in our past sales, that's not going to go over to the new one?
Well, it won't, because it's going to monitor your 2015 year. It monitors your year. So the 2014 closed units really aren't going to matter.
Okay.
If you're asking Michelle if you want to see what your year this year looked like, you could absolutely use this one for that.
Yeah.
Enter all your stuff in, and then when the new one comes out, you can use that for 2015. Is that what you were asking?
You nailed it, Carrie. Yep.
Perfect. Thank you. I love
Yep.
it.
Isn't it awesome?
Yes.
It is one of those things, like, it does amazing things to your business if you use it. I've got one of our agents, a young guy, and he's in it all day long. He's like, I just love knowing where I'm at. I got a pulse on my business, and I know if I need to go to work or not. Or, I mean, he should go to work every single day, but he knows where am I at right now, and do I have enough business? Do I have enough in my pipeline to make sure that next month and the following month is covered, and that I'm going to make sure that everything's good financially for my family.
Okay. And Cal, are you okay? I hit record at the beginning of this. Are you okay if I send it out to people so they can watch it again if they need to?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Absolutely.
Good deal. Okay.
Perfect. All right. Sorry for being a little late.
We understand.
All right. Well, you guys have a great. Yeah. Thank you. Well, you guys have a great rest of your day and a great rest of 2014. Finish strong.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye, Cal.
Bye.
Thank you.